Hey, good morning, neighbors. Legacies of the Manhattan Project. Manhattan Project was the single most expensive, most secretive program on the planet. Period. End. It meddled and messed with every aspect of society to keep its secrets. Among the secrets were the amounts of waste and pollutions inside of that project. And we learned later about the Hanford Reservation, which is worth researching if you want to know about long-term, high-level nuclear waste and how it can migrate through soils, get dispersed in the airs through fires. And the harm, the proven harm. And yes, there are odds involved. It's not a hard harm fact. There are odds involved, and we know about them. So the legacy of the Manhattan Project is the Paducah site that was recently in the news again for releasing cesium into the air, and they won't admit what else. They won't speak to what else because it's a secret, right? You don't need to know. Deadliest materials on the planet, and you don't need to know. Manhattan Project is one. Up in Detroit, on the Detroit River, is a former nuclear fuel cell manufacturing site for commercial plants that's crumbling into the river. Is that a problem? That's a good question. It's like Flint's drinking water problem. They were good questions, and now it's in court. This is what some politics wants. So the Manhattan Project, why am I bringing this up again? You can go out and find the waste sites across the nation and even the planet from that research. You can also go find the most spectacular tools in research and other things that were spawned out of that little blip in our history. But the main legacy is the pollutants and the education, the knowledge we got from doing what we did. And unfortunately, not enough people got that knowledge. So what, am I supposed to apologize for the nation? No, it doesn't work that way. I will apologize for what I've wronged. So, why is the Manhattan Project? Now, you have to go back in and read about the Manhattan Project and the size and the scope and the cost of it. It's forgotten history. But somewhere, out of nowhere, out of magic, right, we created enough cash to inspire enough people to do some of the most sophisticated research on the planet. And we can't take care of homeless because we're too ignorant. So, amazing science, amazing humanity across the planet inside the Manhattan Project. You know, the biggest breakthroughs in the Manhattan Project is when the scientists, the humans that were curious, leading these investigations and endeavors, went to another country and spoke to other scientists in other countries. Department of Defense was against that. They didn't want that to happen. These were some of the most spied on individuals on the planet because nuclear secrets. But it was those simple conversations that nudged a scientist, that nudged a human being into a little bit different mindset. He brought back, and the project went on. It was a subtle thing. It wasn't huge. It wasn't earth-shattering. It was a mere paradigm shift in a way of looking at things. Or not. These are concepts. Words create concepts in your mind, just like evolution. Evolution by itself is a soft word. Biological evolution is huge. But evolution can apply to anything. Cars can evolve in conversations. That's the way conversations work. It's the way we... this is something I was never good at. Put the eloquent words into our vocabulary that makes people want to listen to us. So, Manhattan Project. I estimate between 80 and 100 critically hazardous nuclear waste sites in the Americas that should be dealt with at some level. They're contaminating groundwater. They're contaminating local environment. These are evolutionary drivers. These energies are among the many aspects not talked about because the proof is very hard. It's a stochastic thing. I've never seen anybody done a study against radiation in the environment and life on Earth. But we do know that millions of years ago, when the planet's radiation levels would have been much higher, it was the most abundant time of organic matter on the planet. Our oceans were filled with massive amounts of something that made the oil that we're drinking today. So amazing shit out there. Long history. Deep, cool time, man. So this Department of Defense thing, they have no rules and no boundaries. No checks and bounds. This is a game they play. So again, we're going to give the Department of Defense billions of dollars. It was funded in this go-round. The Democrats are so happy patting themselves on the back, not speaking out against any of this nonsense. So the last time the Department of Defense went to work on minerals, mineral wealth, mineral harvesting, the goal was to be able to kill the planet. That's our nuclear deterrent. That's the threat. That's détente. Is you kill me, I kill you. So, DOD being given billions of dollars again to go get precious minerals, precious metals, precious elements. Okay, these aren't all metals. These are a range of elements they're going to be harvesting. This is akin to what is being done at the Hanford glass vitrification plant that is now a chemical separation plant. A whole different animal in the original aspect and scope of that plant, and yet it should have been done and discussed long ago. Yet it wasn't. Where were the thinkers, the reasonable conversationalists, the humans in the room that weren't biased in their presentation and their offerings and their risk assessments? You don't get those. So yeah, I'm beginning to believe we're hosed. It is time for a third party. There is no other way around the roadblocks both these parties have. The mental gymnastics these parties do to keep smiling in public to our faces while they give away the animal house. So, lads and laddies, hope the weekend's good. Thoughts and condolences, best wishes. Yes.